Today I'm going to make a vlog and I'm going to call this one the mentality of Filipino skin tax, because it's everywhere you go. You know, my wife was just telling me a story. I'll tell you in a minute if you just hold on. But whenever we go to the wet markets, I always try it on, you know. And what I do is I wait for somebody to come out and say, how much you pay for that? And they say, oh, I paid 120 a kilo or 100 a kilo for that. So I'll go in and I'll say to me 140, I'll say, look, I'll make you promise. If you give me the same price as you give them, they say, but I didn't give you them price. I'll say, you did, they told me. And I'll say, if you give me them same price, I'll always shop here. If not, I'll never come back. I mean, I've had people try to charge me skin tax in the wet market, right? They charge me 130 a kilo. I know full well it's 110. And I'll say, no, I don't want to buy that, 110. And I'll walk away. They won't call you back. There's no barter. You know, which to me is absolutely amazing why they don't have a barter trade. Hang on. It's so hot. You know, it's the 30th of April and the weather is so hot you wouldn't believe it. Whew. Anyway, like I was saying, you'll walk away. They won't call you back to say, okay, sir, I'll give it you for 110 or 120 or whatever it is, you know. So that's okay, but in the markets now, the local markets, there's 2 local markets we go to, they know me and they know not to charge skin tax because they know I do ask other people. I know it's only a couple of pesos, but it's wrong, you know, because I'm not a millionaire foreigner like people think I am. Yeah, I've got a few bob, but you know, if I keep spending it, I'm not going to last very long, am I? And I'll be on the road or on the streets like the other foreigners you see with no money and begging. I don't want to be a beggar. Anyway, the wife was telling me just this morning, we went past a fisherman, right? Laddie, great man, good fisherman. He taught me a lot of things in fishing, especially how to fish out in the barangay fishing. There's the sea there, look. We're actually on a mountain road which cuts through the jungle. You know, you don't leave the road because you probably wouldn't get back alive. There's that many spiders and snakes and monkeys that'll kill you. Anyway, we went past a neighbour laddie's house and the wife was talking to me. She says, how much fish you cast last night? He says, oh, I caught 10 kilo. And she says, oh, that's good. She says, you get plenty of money. He says, no, I took it to the market and I got 110 pesos a kilo. Oh, okay, that's no problem. I said, don't you sell to the locals? He says, yeah. He says, but I sell it 110 pesos a kilo. I says, what about the other fishermen? Well, she says, what about the other fishermen? She says, yeah. He says, I sold to everybody 110 pesos a kilo. If I can save anybody money, I will. Which is good, you know, that's a good neighbour. Anyway, she says to me, the woman who, one of the other fishermen, because they all get together and they all decide a price they're going to sell, so that way they don't undercut each other. She says one of the women of the fishermen's wives, said to my wife's sister, she took some fish down there and she wanted 130 pesos a kilo, which I know it's only 20 pesos a kilo, but because there's a foreigner living in the compound, so they have to pay the skin tax because of me, which I think is absolutely bonkers. I really do. Yeah. What happens when we leave, when we've just bought another house and land? What happens when we leave, when we've finished refurbing it and pouring furniture in? Well, we're going to leave, but we'll come back here occasionally, you know, because we've got another house. Well, it's a flatlet. We've got another, let's call it a house. It's got aircon, it's got kitchen, living room, nice television, you know. But we're going to use that to come back when we come back occasionally, which will probably be every couple of weeks, because family is very, very important to Filipinos, as you probably know if you're married to one or if your girlfriend's one. But, you know, because there's a foreigner there, they think they're rich. Do they think these foreigners, well, I suppose they do. They think the foreigners give the family loads of money, because a lot of foreigners do that. I don't do it, there's no need, because my wife is quite self-sufficient. You know, she's got her own money, she's got her own car. She got another house up in the mountains, which I don't want to live because it's too far away from civilization. I'd go crazy if I was living there, you know. It's so hot. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you that one, you know, because it's bonkers the way it works. I mean, a foreigner living in the compound causes the family to pay more money because he's living there. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you that quick one, folks. Have a great day. See you soon.